It's a special post-game episode of Kevin Keatsman Has Issues. My quick look at the Chiefs and Chargers is coming right up. Remember, tomorrow morning, complete analysis and commentary on everything Chiefs and a full day in the NFL. Plus, the U.S. Open final round and the big news in D.C. as Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died Friday, and the fight is on for Trump and McConnell to nominate and approve a new justice before the election. It's going to be a wild week. Our post-game sponsors are Buck Roofing, online at rbuckroofing.com. You won't find a bigger Chiefs fan than Ron Buck. He's also a fan of repairing and installing roofing systems all over the area. Kansas City, Lawrence, Topeka, and Manhattan residents and businesses count on Buck Roofing to do a perfect job on time and on budget. rbuckroofing.com or 913-384-2680. You'll sleep well knowing Buck Roofing fixed the roof over your head. Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC is the official dealership of KKHI. Mike Robinson's there every day, and he wants to make it easy for you to get a great ride that you need. Hundreds in their inventory to choose from in Excelsior Springs or online at robertsrobinson.com, where you can shop, click, drive. 0% financing available on select models. See the dealership for details. Check out the great selection right now of hardworking GMC trucks. We are professional grade at robertsrobinson.com. And of course, Window World, the official windows and doors of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's break this one down. Hit it!
Sports, politics, life. Jocelyn's Jewelry presents Kevin Keatsman Has Issues.
Well, everybody expected the Chiefs to win, and nobody thought it would be like this. Kansas City ekes it out in overtime, 23-20. Here's our instant analysis here at Kevin Keatsman Has Issues. Again, tomorrow we'll have a complete breakdown, post-game sound, talk about all of the sub-stories in this crazy game where the Chiefs just did not play well at all. We're able to win 23-20 in overtime. It's amazing. I wrote down on one of my note cards during the game in the fourth quarter, after I continued to watch the Chiefs rack up penalty after penalty. They finished with 11 penalties, 90 yards in this game, and they were all the most inopportune penalties you could ever have. They either continued Chargers offensive drives or helped stall Kansas City offensive drives. It was unbelievable how bad this performance was by the Chiefs. I mean, I got to give them like a D or a D+, and they still win in a game where they were behind and had nothing. That is an amazing testament to this team. I wrote down in the fourth quarter at the bottom of my note card, thinking about doing the quick analysis here after the game was over, and I basically put two boxes. I was going to circle one. I wrote two lines with a slash between the two of them. I wrote, can't keep doing this, / they really are this good. And so here we go. I'm going to circle it. I'm circling it right now. They really are this good. I've never seen a football team like this. I don't know how poorly you can play and win a game. I mean, one mistake after another all day long. They fell behind. They catch the break of, I would assume it's a break. Maybe they game plan for Tyrod Taylor and the Chargers running the football more than they did. A different thing than what they were seeing, so maybe the defensive game plan was different. But look, they only gave up 20 points. As painful as it was at times to watch the Chiefs defensively, and I thought in the first three quarters they were very poor against the run in particular. So it was frustrating watching the Chiefs defense play, but that really wasn't the bad part of this game. They only wind up giving up 20 points, okay? That's a fine performance in the NFL. I mean, if the Chiefs give up 20 points in every game all year, do they go 19-0? That's the question to ask. If the Chiefs give up 20 points in every game all year, do they go 19-0? Will we see them struggle like this offensively again? I don't know. Mahomes winds up statting out pretty good, 27 out of 47 for 302 and 2 touchdowns. But Mahomes' best quality in this game today was scrambling. Every time he squirted out of the pocket, he ran for a first down. He's got a knack. I think he learned a lot of that from Alex Smith. He really reminded me running out of the pocket today a lot more because he held the ball longer than at times last year. I felt like last year, a lot of times, Mahomes would, something wouldn't be there to break down, and he'd go. He held it and held it and held it and then went and still got the first downs, which means he's just got an unbelievable feel for getting to the marker and how long he could hold the football before either throwing it or running with it. It's just amazing. I mean, he's not the fastest quarterback in the league. I mean, there's probably 7 or 8 guys that running out of the pocket are faster than Patrick Mahomes, but his feel for the game is simply ridiculous. I mean, it's just crazy that he was holding the ball, and then ran and got the first downs over and over and over. This was just an amazing football game to watch. The Chiefs come back and get this done. They trailed all day. It didn't look like they were going to win. They basically, even though they statted out okay and wound up scoring 23 points and certainly did all their damage late in the third, in the fourth, and then in overtime, they never really found it. They never really found an answer. They made a couple of big plays. The big touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill where he just boneheadedly took his helmet off and they got away with it. So they were able to go for two. Tyreek Hill pulls his helmet off there after that touchdown. And if they'd called the penalty, the Chiefs wouldn't have been able to go for two. They would have had to go for the PAT. It would have changed some things. Look, a million different plays in this game. This was one of those games that had so many different things. The Chiefs had a blocked PAT. They had all these penalties. They made mental mistakes. They just did one thing after the holding penalties. My goodness, by the offensive line, which didn't play very well really at all today for the Chiefs in this game. A difficult San Diego front, certainly, and a very well-coached team and a great defensive game plan that the Chargers came in. But the Chiefs find a way. And I think what I wrote down on the bottom of this card is right. They either can't keep doing this or they are this good. I tweeted early in the game, I said wrong. I said this feels like a playoff game. It didn't feel like a playoff game. It looked like one of their playoff games, although they were worse today than they were in those playoff games. And that's hard to say because they were down 24-0 to the Texans last year in the playoffs. But that was fumbling and, a lot of that was physical mistakes the Chiefs were making. This was just mental errors. This was just sloppy, lazy football today. And I would say the Chiefs were, and I don't want to be too critical because they won. And anytime you can grade the team out, I'm just going to give them a D. I give them a D today. And they won in the National Football League. That is amazing. My headline here is, and this is criticism, but I don't mean it to say that this is any kind of a deal breaker. We clearly know this is a cocky team that has a lot of swagger. And when things don't go well, it's pretty amazing. They're very surprised, and they have a very different look about them. I think this was an arrogant effort by the Kansas City Chiefs today. I do. I think they felt like last Tuesday that they were going to win this game and win it easily. They got off the airplane thinking, we don't have to do anything today. We just got to show up. Mahomes is going to win the game for us, and that's that. And then that disappeared, and suddenly it's halftime, and the Chiefs only have 6 points. And you're like, what's going on? Well, we've seen that before. Okay, we've seen the Chiefs have a bad half of a game. We've seen some stuff, maybe not quite like this. But then they come out, they make an adjustment, or as was the case in the postseason a couple times last year, Andy just said, drop him back, go win the game for us, kid. Well, they come out in the third quarter with the ball and do nothing. The Chiefs were flat. They had no answer. They didn't figure anything out against the Chargers today. Somehow they scrapped and clawed and just kind of eked their way to 23 points. Harrison Butker, amazing in the end in overtime. He basically hit a 53-yarder twice where there was a penalty on one and then a timeout on the other. They didn't count. Then a 58-yarder to win it. I mean, that was just a freak show by Butker at the end of this game. That if you're watching as a Chiefs fan, you probably felt the same thing I did. Romo jinxed him. Romo just said it. He's Mariano Rivera. This game's over. But I'm like, no. I mean, everybody was thinking the same thing. No, Romo, don't say that. And then Butker hits it 3 times. I don't think I've ever seen that. They lift him up on their shoulders after the game. It was just tremendous. I mean, this is what championship teams do. There was one big mistake in the game by Herbert. He threw a terrible interception where he could have easily run for a first down as the Chargers were approaching scoring territory. So there's all these little plays, all these little things that happened in this game. The penalty with a minute 5 to go in regulation. Mahomes throws it down to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It was probably his best throw of the day. Just an amazing play. And the Chiefs are going to have first and goal with a minute 5 to go. And Andrew Wiley is caught holding. They're going to win the game in regulation. The Chiefs are going to win the game 24-20. That's what the final was going to be. They were going to score, touchdown, extra point, 24, hold the Chargers, who would not have had hardly any time left, and that would have been that. And a penalty called that back. That was maybe the best throw of the day by Mahomes with a minute 5 to go in regulation. 3rd and 20, they get 21 yards. Mahomes scrambles with 44 seconds to go. I don't know if how closely you watched that replay, and Nance and Romo didn't talk about it. When they showed the replay, I didn't really see it live. He's about 4 yards short. This is in regulation, 44 seconds to go. The Chiefs have 3rd and 20, and Mahomes runs for 21 yards. With about 4 or 5 yards to go, he starts to kind of go into his slide, and then he changes his mind and goes left, and it was a little bit awkward, and then there was contact made, and he got across the line. dude's got a feel, man. He's got a feel. He's looking at him thinking, okay, I got to slide here. And then he's like, you know what? I think I can get this. You can just literally in the replay, the slow motion replay, you can watch him change his mind and go for the first down, and he gets it. It's simply amazing. I mean, for all we talk about Patrick Mahomes' exploits with the big plays, the big arm, throwing sideways, left-handed, across the field, all the things that he does, the two-point conversion was just brilliant. Quarterback play where he rolled out and then at the last second just kind of tossed it in there. That was all Patrick Mahomes. His running today was amazing. I mean, it was. Come on, what are you going to do with this guy? Seriously, you're taking away his bread and his butter, and 3rd and 20, he's rushing for 21 yards down the middle of the field when you think you've got him stopped. And it's staggering how good the Chiefs are. A couple of guys hurt him today. Austin Eckler always hurts the Chiefs. He hurts them catching passes. Keenan Allen had a big day today. Tyreek Hill, 5 catches, 99 yards, the touchdown. Kelsey had 9 catches for 90 yards. And I seriously, I can't give, listen, D is not right. I cannot give the Chiefs a D grade because they won the football game. That's not fair. That's not fair because you have to give them, you have to say they played D or D minus maybe for 3 hours. And then the last part of, regulation and overtime, they were terrific. So you can scratch the D. Let's run them up to a C and say it was C. That was their performance today, but it only got bumped up because of how good they were at the end, and they just flat know how to win football games. Simply amazing. I mean, amazing that this is our football team and that they can win games where they play this poorly and make this many mistakes. Oh, my gosh, does Andy Reid have some coachable moments? He's going to let into them now. They're going to take the win and celebrate it. When they get back to work this week and they're getting ready for the Ravens a week from Monday, woo! They better clean this mess up or they're in trouble against the Ravens. They have been not refined. Certainly, they are not a well-polished and refined machine right now. They're not. They'll get there. I think we all recognize they'll get there, but they are not there. And in so many ways today, the Chiefs are very fortunate to be 2-0. Very, very fortunate to be 2-0. Okay, tomorrow morning, check back. We'll do a complete recap of that. Bryson DeChambeau won the U.S. Open today. We'll talk about all of that. We got so many things going on around the country. It'll be a big, big podcast tomorrow. We'll have it up probably sometime mid-morning, so check back with us. Here's your instant analysis on the Chiefs here at Kevin Keatsman Has Issues. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great evening.
Thanks for listening to Kevin Keatsman Has Issues. For additional VIP-only podcasts, live streaming of breaking news, sports wagering tips from the experts, and in-person special events, visit kkhasissues.com and become a patron for as little as $5 per month.